this one's quite difficult for me. I'm doing my my testimony, but I'm just going to keep it brief, and try and just give a brief overview of who I am. And this is hard because there's every time I go back in my inventory, I get a little emotional and stuff. But then that emotion, when I sit with it, I realise that that is something I need to sit with, and that's an emotion that's I'm allowed to have. It's not something that I need to get rid of, tell it to disappear or go and do something or take something or whatever to try and get rid of that emotion. But when you do go through your testimony and you go back to when you were a boy, it's quite daunting. It's quite daunting. No wonder people run from inner search and inner peace seeking. So, yeah, my name's Damien. For people that don't know me, I'm in Australia, and oh, by the way, beautiful day. It's cloudy and it's gonna rain, but the birds are out and it's a beautiful day. Oh, there's a blue bowerbird. Yeah. So, yeah, I grew up in a small town in Muswellbrook in New South Wales. I was born in Dungog, and Dungog, my mother said that I was the last birth there, so that's quite trippy. Like, yeah, I must have shocked them when I come out. Well, anyway. Yeah. So I was born into this world like everybody else, and I go through the same thing as everybody else, and no one's, we're all equal, and no one's on, no one's worse than another, and I'm not giving my testimony to try and make myself anything. I'm doing my testimony because time is short, and we're going through a process, and I don't know if it will help someone or if it won't. All I know is that I'm being, urged by the Father to give my testimony and keep focused on the truth, keep focused on the things that are occurring, and don't focus on me or my flesh or that. And that's what I'm practicing at the moment. But anyway, I veer off track too, so just let me know when I do that, and I'll try and stop. So it was, yeah, small town, very small town, and I got hooked up in drugs and alcohol through my teenage years. I lost my license on my L's. Yeah, all the way through school I was chasing an identity that I would see in others, and because I was told and labelled so many labels and told who I was, I nearly believed them. That's the danger. I was a little boy that grew up. I was an excited little fellow. I had a lot of love, very curious, and I was very different. Everyone would say, very different. And of course they try and stomp that out of you, but I was pushed through school by the teachers because no one could understand me. I was very different. I had teachers that would attack me in vicious ways that I'm talking, you don't need to swear at someone when they're a boy to viciously attack them. All you need to do is tell them what they're not and make them believe it. Um, so I went through a very lonely childhood, but I was always around people. I was a very social person, class clown, because laughter was just better than learning at that stage. Well, at any stage, because I don't regret none of this, because I've learned more now than I could have ever learned off any teacher with an academic record or some bloody certificate. So, and I've got more friends now. But back to my testimony. So I grew up in a small town that was full of drugs and alcohol. I had you know family issues. My dad was an alcoholic, and he was yeah, yeah. My mum would she fought against this demon as well, and she yeah she was fighting against this demon as well. My mum and me are very similar in in ways, same as my daughter is similar to me. But yeah, I think mainly I was just very confused because I had no idea why the people did what they did. Like, why do I have to conform to that just because you said that that's the right thing to do? So I was rebellious, very rebellious. Um, yeah, always I was finding my identity at school, always showing off and trying to make friends through laughter and bullshit, and yeah, it was it's quite sad when I go back to my teenager person myself and I sit down and talk about this with him, and he tells me how he felt. And I go to him, like I try and counsel him from me now, which is a really good thing to do, is to go back into when you were a child, um, get down on your knee and counsel your child, you through your life to where you got now, and there's your inventory. So that's probably why I go off track a little bit, is because I've done so much thought in my past, and I've done my inventory and my testimony in my mind and my heart, and every time I linked new chains to who I am and why and my purpose and what where I come from, and so that's easy to go off track when you're in this process of learning where I'm at now. Uh, but I'm teachable, and that's all that matters to the Father. So He's putting me through my refinery. So yeah, loss of identity when I was young, trying to find my identity, and it was false. Establishing masks as a chameleon through friendships, losing partners because of my not being able to deal with my thought process because of how my thought process worked and how different it was to others. It didn't work in the same way others did. You couldn't teach me the same way others learn. So I lost relationships, cars. I've had 4 AVOs. I'm a criminal. I'm another label. Every time I've labelled myself because I couldn't cope or deal with the thoughts, and so I had to run. I felt at that time, and so I would drink, or do drugs in order to take away that, my thought process. And that's here on the bottom line and the foundation, your thought process. You're also trying to take away who you are. I don't like me. I hate me. Why can't I be like them? Why can't I be like them? And you're trying so hard through your whole life to be like everybody. You have no idea who you are. So that's virtually my whole life right there. Until I met Derek, and I started watching his videos, and yeah, that changed me. I actually went into a rehab, but just before, it was like the Father had placed me in a place of safety in order to get a recovery of 11 months, a recovery that would now be strong enough for me to say I'm never a label that they place on me. So it's a recovery that I needed, so I don't regret rehabs. I've been to 2 rehabs. I don't regret rehabs or anything like that, because I don't regret anything. It's where I am now, and I'm stronger than ever now. And I'm battling just the same as anyone else now. But yeah. So where was I at? That's right. Yeah. So I've been on the other side of the law. I'm not a violent person, but I can say really nasty words, and that was one of the biggest things that got me into trouble. My AVOs were through, arguing and being loud, vicious with my words, swearing, scaring, scary. Yeah, so I just totally was trying to understand how to deal with these thoughts, and because I couldn't, I would come up against myself and I would fight myself, and then other people around me would get hurt. Other people around me, I would hurt their hearts or their souls. They would lose who I am and go, wow. And so I would hurt people. This is because I'm very empathetic. I've grown up a peacemaker because I hate violence and I hate being around friction, and anything that vibrates, I've got to get out of. And that's my daughter's autism coming through, and I didn't realise that until these recent years, and this recent last year at the most. So that's pretty much my life abbreviated. Not abbreviated, whatever you call it when you make it smaller. Hey, Sarge. What you doing? Yeah, and yeah, my second part of my testimony that I'm going to do, I'll go into a little bit more detail, but it's more of the fact of where I'm at now, because this is where it's important. Everybody needs to dig deep, and one of the persons that helped me dig inside was Relentless Maverick, and I advise subscribing to him if you're having any interior difficulties of addictions or anything outside, and he does it out of love. There is no, yeah, nothing more than love in what he's teaching because of the fruits and the gifts. It's just it's a beautiful thing. He helped me out of things, and still I need that sort of help now, and we all do. So it's a good thing to knock pride away and tell it to disappear and be who you are. Be who you are. Like if you're, you know, yeah. So that is probably as much as I should talk about today. Like I said, my next one is going to be a little bit more detailed. I'm going to sit down and do some notes and go through some notes and go through what changes had occurred and who had helped me through these changes and how to find these people and these tools to at least be able to deal and cope with what's about to come as well. It means nothing what's happening in, there's some big things coming. So I love you all, and I hope that this helped in any way, and any questions or anything I can answer, or if you want to talk to me, you can email me at damieneager@yahoo.com, and yeah, I will answer or talk or whatever if you're in a place where you need help or anything like that. I can't help you in a such, but I can help point out the direction like many of our other brothers and sisters, and there is a massive safety net and network of people, the body, that can help through this process in order to find out who you truly are, so that when things occur, you're prepared. So I love all you guys, and subscribe to Derek's channel on Global Witness. WSO has good stuff if you want to see what's really happening out there. Naughty Beaver has good stuff if you want to understand and seek the deeper prophecies and see how that works out. And Jeff Doherty, he's straight down the line. If you want to learn spiritual things, go to Jeff Doherty. He's got some pretty straightforward things to say as well. All these people have good information, and information is free, and you do what you want with it, and don't judge other people for giving it. Who else? There's so many people that have helped that I love and am thankful for. So and I thank for the Father for allowing all of us to be in this place at this time, doing our job that was tasked, and remembering. It's pretty grey. Magpie sitting on the fence over there waiting. Alright, love ya. Bye.